All right. I was happy to get us started, and thank you for joining us today. Um, Hopefully, you're all indoors and away from the rain. We're about to get started with some lovely help from our past and current e-board for the NAHJ New England Journalism Awards. And first of all, I just want to thank you all for making it tonight. This is the third annual NHJ New England Journalism Awards. I'm Steph Solis, co-author of the Axios Boston newsletter and president of NAHJ New England. So I'll be your host for tonight for the next hour or so. Just so you all know, if you have not already noticed, we will be recording and this recording will be shared. But we do encourage you to celebrate the winners with some messages and emojis in the chat, which I already see we're off to a good start with that. So we will be revealing the winners of awards in 12 categories, ranging from newspaper stories to photo essays to radio stories. We will also celebrate our esteemed Impact Award winner, Cindy Rodriguez. If you don't know her already, Cindy is a senior journalist in residence at Emerson College and a former president of our New England chapter, and many of you know her as a mentor. It's been a difficult year for Latino communities for a variety of reasons. And yet I'm so impressed by the wide range of reporting and editing and storytelling journalists are doing across the region. You're breaking news and you're telling important, nuanced stories about Latino communities at a time when we're stereotyped, generalized, and demonized. You bring clarity and humanity to stories about us, and that deserves to be recognized. Before we get into tonight's program, I want to thank our sponsor, Emerson College, and tell you a little bit about the work we do thanks to our sponsors. So, thanks to support from Emerson College and previous sponsors, we were able to continue the Unified Career Summit in 2025. That's a collaboration involving NAHJ New England, the Asian American Journalists Association of Boston, NLGJA, the Association of LGBTQ plus journalists in Boston, and the Boston Association of Black Journalists. Most of all, we were able to send 4 of our members to the 2025 NHJ conference in Chicago this year. They included early career journalists, a full-time freelancer, and an award-winning reporter who hadn't gotten the chance to attend before. Again, we are so grateful for your support. And we urge many of you to continue supporting our work. We need it now more than ever as we plan new programming for journalists and scholarship opportunities for local students. We are working to ensure that news outlets hire more Latinos at all levels of the newsroom and give them the room to grow, even when the news industry is under attack. Please support us and invest in us. And I would be remiss if I did not thank our judges, who spent many hours reviewing and deliberating over several entries. The judges themselves are award-winning journalists from outside of New England. We felt it was important to have outside judges to avoid conflicts of interest. NHJ New England is grateful to them. They include Isaac Abelucea of Axios Philly, Kim Bojorquez of Axios Salt Lake City, Luis Carrasco of the Philly Inquirer, Ambar Castillo of Epicenter NYC, Greg Castillo of Axios Texas, Patricia Clarenbao of Univision, Vicky Diaz Camacho, Shahrazad Maria Encinas of California State University Northbridge, Esteban Hernandez of Axios Denver, Cristela Guerra of Report for America, and formerly a board member of NHJ New England when she lived here, and Jacob Reyes of Axios Tampa Bay, and last but not least, Angelica Serrano Roman of Bloomberg Law. We are so grateful for them. So now it's time to, now we're going to start revealing the winners in each category. Like I said before, use the chat function to congratulate the winners as we proceed with emojis, reactions, and words of affirmation. And some wepas in there. You know, we're getting ready for the Benito Bowl. So first, we begin with our student TV video category. We have two winners in this category. We'll start with second place. The award goes to Amaya Briones of WEBN in Español for her broadcast on April 9, 2025. Congrats, Amaya. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our first place winner. And that is the WEBN en Español team for their broadcast on February 16, 2025. This was directed by Jael Bito, produced by Isabella Cohn, Daniel Cordova, Amaya Briñones, and Juliana Lujan Rodriguez, with on-air presentation by Samuel Lawrence and Amaya Briones. I think Jael is here to say a few words if you would like to. Do we have
Uh,
Jael here?
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm walking to work, but um, Isa actually, the my producer, on the show was gonna like share a few words, and I'm echoing everything that she's gonna say. So, Isa, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Well, I'd love to say that, well, Jed started this project and he told me, Isa, I want you to be on my team. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm so proud of the entire team. And, we have Amaya, who's going to be our executive producer this semester. So that's very exciting. We just love seeing our team grow. And I just couldn't be more proud to, be with this team and do so great with them. So yeah.
Thank you, guys. Muchísimas gracias.
I would also like to add, it was a really good experience having Jael and Isa and executive producers and Gigi, Danny, that sadly they're not here, but I'm here like being an AP with them. We were a really good like group. We're also win an Evie Award all together, all because this is all hard work from all of us.
Absolutely, and that's so well deserved. Congratulations to all of you. It's so good to hear you and to see all your hard work go noticed. So, um, if you know a student journalist, tell them about the NAHJ New England Journalism Awards. Encourage them to explore our communities because Latino stories are community news stories, and we need to help the next generation report them thoughtfully. We are going to soon get started on our next category, which will be TV and video for small outlets. Before we do that, I just want to thank our crew here tonight. In addition to me emceeing, we have Belen Dumont here, outgoing NHJ New England secretary, who is helping, work the Zoom controls and all that. And we also have our incoming secretary, Rachel Sanchez Smith, helping to, work our presentation. She just hit the ground running and got started. So I'm so grateful for that. Um, and with that, we are going to continue our presentation. Um, so this category has one winner tonight. So we are going to move on to the first place winner, and that is Eleonora Bianchi from New Bedford Light for her piece reliving the Bianco raid of 2007. Congratulations to Eleonora. Are you here tonight? I believe I saw you here if you'd like to say a couple of words.
Yes, I'm here. I don't know if you can see me. I'm using Zoom for the first time on my phone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to share it with my newsroom. I know I have a colleague here. But thank you so much.
Congratulations. And now we are going to be moving on to the TV video category for large outlets. We have two awards in this category tonight. We first have in second place Oscar Margain of NBC Boston for his story on a teen recording ICE agent smashing a window in Waltham. Congratulations. And next up, we also have in first place Oscar Margain of NBC Boston for his story titled Nobody Should Be in Here. A Milford High School student detained by ICE is released. And so I do not believe we have Oscar here tonight, but he had a um, very strong set of stories. And I know hearing from the judges that they were very impressed with his collection. Perfect. Congratulations to Oscar. Now we move on to our next category, which is radio audio. This year's finalists covered immigration, politics, and historic preservation of sorts. So first we recognize our third place winners, and they are the Disrupted team from Connecticut Public Radio. That includes the story Amanda Rivera's Preserving Oral Histories of Puerto Ricans in Connecticut. Congratulations to all of you. The team includes host Kalila Brown Dean and is produced by Kevin Chang Barnum, Robin Doyen Eichen, Erica McIntosh, and Meg Fitzgerald. Congratulations. We're going to move on to our second place winner. And that is Simon Rios of WBUR for a story on how Trump won over more Latino voters in Lawrence. Congratulations, Simon. And by the way, when he's not reporting on local news, he is doing some very complex woodworking and can make a mean table. First place goes to Daniela Doncel of Connecticut Public Radio for her story, How a Family Preparedness Plan Can Ease Concerns for Parents Fearing Deportation. I believe we have Daniela here tonight if you'd like to say a few words.
Hi. Thank you all so much. This is really incredible. I've just started at Connecticut Public. I'm coming up on a year, and I still feel like I'm learning, but this really means a lot and it's showing me that I'm going in the right direction. So thank you all so much, and thank you to my friends at Connecticut Public who are helping me be a better reporter. And thank you for this. This is amazing. Thank you.
Congratulations, Daniela. It's worth noting that Daniela is new to NAHJ New England and, relatively speaking, somewhat new to Connecticut Public Radio. So it's great to see you hit the ground running in the last year or so. But next, we are going to move on to our next category, and that is photo for small outlets. So we have one winner in this category, and that is Eleonora Bianchi of the New Bedford Light for her photo essay, Hidden in Plain Sight. Congratulations to you. Would you like to say a few words about this?
Yes, yeah, it's me. Thank you so much. This was also part of a series of stories that we covered on the South Coast, and I have to say, of course, like thank you to my newsroom, the support, and especially to the residents who put their trust in us and allowed us to cover these stories, because it wouldn't be possible without them. Thank you.
Congratulations. And if you have not had a chance to do so already, please look up Hidden in Plain Sight. This was so fascinating. Just to give you an idea, the stories revolved around people hiding their faces in front of items that mean a lot to them, or just everyday items in their lives. And so Eleonora took what is often a limitation that prevents people from photographing undocumented immigrants and other historically vulnerable people into a feature of that photo essay. And so, great job. Now we're moving on to our next category, which is photo for large outlets. This also has one winner, and the winner is Tyler Russell of Connecticut Public Radio for his photo essay on Peruvian Independence Day being celebrated in Connecticut. So congratulations to Tyler. I don't know if he's here tonight.
I'll just, excuse me, jump in on behalf of Tyler and Connecticut Public. Thank you so much for this honor. It's a huge honor to be recognized by NHJ New England. And in everything we do in our journalism, we care about how we're representing our communities, our Latino communities. And so this is a great honor. And on behalf of Tyler, we thank you.
Thank you, and it's well deserved. So for now, we're going to be moving on to our following category, and that's one that has one winner this year. The winner for that is Oscar Margain for his story on ballot question number 3. So congratulations to Oscar of NBC Boston. Perfect. So our next category after that is investigative for small outlets. We had one winner this year, and that is Paula Mora of the Martha's Vineyard Times with her story on ICE detainees. I believe we have Paula in here. Would you like to say a few words? We can always come back to Paula. Just so you know, she's a fellow this year at MIT, working on science journalism, or media, if I recall correctly. So just a lot of great work in different areas happening there, thanks to Paula. So we're going to move on to our next category, which is investigative for large outlets. And in this category, we have two winners. In second place is Jim Haradin of Connecticut Public Radio for his story on ICE arrests in Connecticut. And now our first place winner. It's Kevin G. Andrade writing for Commonwealth Beacon in a piece called It's Not Going to Be Pretty. Well done and well deserved, Kevin. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you so much. This is quite an honor for me. I've been a member of this group for so long, and so many of you have helped me through good times and bad, and it feels wonderful to get this recognition. I couldn't have gotten here without you, nor could I have gotten here without the people of my hometown, aka New Beige, aka New Bedford.
Thank you so much and congratulations again. So next we are moving on to opinion. In this case, we have actually a full sweep. And unfortunately, the winner of all three awards here could not make it tonight. She is currently a Nieman Fellow at Harvard University and could not step out of those obligations tonight. If you haven't already figured it out, the winner of these categories is Marcela Garcia of the Boston Globe. Her third place story is How Trump Grew His Latino Support in Massachusetts. Her second place story is Why Trump's Rhetoric Resonated with Some Dominican Americans. And the first place story is Cancer is the #1 cause of death among Latinos. It doesn't have to be. And what I love about this one is all of these stories are so important, but it's so helpful to see stories that focus on healthcare and what our communities need. Because so often we see stories about immigration, about Trump, and that's important too. But there's so much that goes unrecognized when it comes to determinants of health and solutions that are available for everyone. And so it's very, very well deserved. Next, we are going to move on to the next category. So these are our most contested categories coming up, starting with print digital for small outlets. Third place goes to Paula Maura of the Martha's Vineyard Times for her story, How Brazilian Immigration Has Transformed Martha's Vineyard. Congratulations, Paula. In second place, we have Pamati Bokiateria of Commonwealth Beacon. For her story, a new project is helping Chelsea residents better understand their air quality. And in first place, we have Kevin G. Andrade of the New Bedford Times. After the ICE arrests, what happens to the families? And forgive me, I believe that's the New Bedford Light. So we will have Kevin say a few words if you would like.
Uh, well, thank you again. I'm kind of speechless at this point. Thank you, Karen, for inviting me onto the light crew. Yes, I see you there. And thank you, Ellie, for helping out with the photos and being on my side. And again, I can't say this enough. Thank you to NAHJ for being there, and thank you to the city of New Bedford for being there. And by the city, I mean the residents.
Congratulations. Now, we are down to our final category before we move on to the biggest award of the night. This was a highly contested category, but we only have 3 awards. Our third place winner is Julia McDonald Nieto del Rio of the Boston Globe for her story about the Special Immigrant Juvenile Designation. Congratulations. Now we have our second place winner, Sarah Betancourt of GBH News, for her story on how ICE agents started conducting wellness checks on immigrant children. Very well done. And in first place is Julia for her story about why Haitians are migrating from Chile to Massachusetts. Congratulations, Julia. Would you like to say a few words?
Hi, yes, thank you all so much. I'm so excited, and I love reading everyone's stories. I just joined the Globe a little over a year ago, so it's just been great to get to know the community and be able to tell these stories. And thank you for this lovely honor.
It's very well deserved. So, we're going to move on soon to the biggest award of the night. But before I do, I just want to remind all of you that this would not be possible without all of you, without our previous and incoming chapter board members and our sponsors. And that's why we need your help to keep our programming alive. The next few years will test us all, and we need to be ready to offer professional, emotional, and financial support to our members and journalists across the region. We can only do that with your help. Some of us live paycheck to paycheck for the love of telling these stories and sharing facts, and some of us have connections and generational wealth or have recently gained influence. We need everyone and everyone's support. I want to remind you that if you are a hiring manager or an executive in a news outlet or organization, we need your support and your partnership. And we are so grateful for the news outlets, universities, and charitable individuals who have invested in us already. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to move on to share our Impact Award winner. So I'm just going to start by saying that this is someone who is probably years overdue for an award like this. She was probably your introduction to NAHJ New England, like she was mine. And she's been our rock, our cheerleader, and our fearless leader. She's had a storied career covering race, immigration, culture, and politics at some major publications, from Time Magazine to the Denver Post to the Boston Globe. But her focus as a senior journalist in residence at Emerson College and as president of NAHJ New England has been to advocate for all of us and to advocate for fair coverage of Latinos in New England newsrooms. I am so honored to present this award to Cindy Rodriguez. I never knew what true mentorship looked like until I met Cindy. She does it without even having to be asked. And she's made me feel seen and valued as a journalist. But don't just take it from me. I believe we have a video coming on, and we just need the sound to start. We will resume in just a moment. I think we're having some technical difficulties. But one thing I wanted to point out while we get that sorted out is that oftentimes when there's someone who is as prodigious as Cindy, and also often someone who is one of the only people of color or only Latinas in a newsroom, you see someone like that climb the industry ladder, and unfortunately, oftentimes people like that, they pull up the ladder behind them and they lead those who follow to fend for themselves. But Cindy is the kind of person who turns around mid-climb and reaches out to those below her so everyone ascends together. And so I just want to say that, this is truly an overdue moment for an overdue recognition. In light of some of the technical difficulties, I'm going to see if I can play our video where several people have chimed in on just how big a difference Cindy has made in our lives. So bear with me on the technical difficulties, I'm afraid.
She's one of those professors you just never forget. From having the honor of attending the NAHJ conference with her as an emerging journalist fellow back in 2023, to having her as the advisor for our NAHJ chapter here at Emerson, Cindy has been an incredibly inspiring force every step of the way. Her dedication to her craft speaks volumes.
During my 4 years in Boston, she was one of the first people to really welcome me. She welcomed me into NHJ with open arms and made me feel like I belonged, that I was part of the NAHJ New England family.
Your words and actions have inspired and supported so many young journalists and veteran journalists through low moments and high moments in their careers.
There's truly no one more deserving of this award. I'm so proud of you, Cindy. Congratulations.
So, we want to see if Cindy would like to say a few words. And just a reminder that this is not just a few people. This is so many people who nominated you who really were excited to see you get this recognition. So again, congratulations on the Impact Award.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, NAHJ New England. Can you guys hear me okay? Um, I'm, I honestly, I was just kind of like when Steph first told me, I was like, what, me? No, but there's other people. But thank you so much. I think, I love working with people and inspiring them, and they in turn inspire me. So it just becomes like that's how I feed my soul. Um, and it means a lot to me to get this award because New England has come a long way. The journalists here in the room, I read your work, and I'm often like, I feel so much when I read your work because it's so impactful. And yeah, I'm an emotional person, so and that's what we want is impactful journalism. So I'm proud to be among all of you. I want to say that we're blessed in this region. And, I get the same feeling from my students. They have such a strong commitment to the truth and to making a difference and doing it with a smile and being super polite. And you met JL and Isa and Amaya, and that's what my day is like. It just gives me joy. So between the students and the journalists in New England, in particular, NHJ members, I feel incredibly optimistic. When things are bad, I think to the great work that you all are doing. And so I know how hard this work is. I did it in a different time. I used to get death threats the old-fashioned way with somebody have to actually write it and send it in the mail. Things are worse now, and I think that the only way we get through this, because we need you, and we know this is a high burnout industry, but this NHJ, this family, this community, I'm not always the best at reaching out, so I always tell folks like, if I notice anything, I'm going to ask you. I over ask sometimes, like, how are you? How are you? Because I think sometimes we suppress all the stuff that's going on with us because we have a job to do, and it's so important. Anyway, I'm proud of what the chapter's done, especially in mentoring people. I love you all. Te amo. I want to thank the board members for selecting me as your honoree this year. Steph Solis, Cristela Guerra, Marina Villanueve, Sabrina Herrera, Belen Demont. And I also want to thank the chair of the Emerson Journalism Department, Luann Reeb, for demonstrating real support. It's nice to have a boss who gets you and understands and supports you. And then be above and beyond that, I just want to thank everyone who's part of the chapter, and in particular, the amazing 4 women who sat with me on the board during the 3 years that we were trying to resurrect the board during a pandemic. So Vanessa de la Torre, Vista La Guerra, Sabrina Herrera, Natalie Benoit, and also Belen came in at the end. The 5 of us worked so hard, and I have to say I learned so much from you all. I won't go into details because we've done that another time, but this award is our award because there is no leader without a team, and y'all were such a great team. I love you so much, and there's a bond there that will always be there. Even if I don't see you, I'm overdue for some visits. And I just want to say I love NHJ. NHJ isn't just this nonprofit organization in DC. It is all of us, and we make it what it is. And I'm just so glad that this new board is just running with it. The new members who have come on board, thank you for continuing. And I just want to say that I'm here. We're all here for each other. If you need to take a pause, take a break, go ahead and do it. But we have to get back to this work because it's so important. So, sigue pa'lante. Thank you very much.
Well said. And I'm trying not to cry. So for now, I'm just letting you all know that this concludes our 2025 New England Journalism Awards. And feel free to, head out, feel free to stay in. I'm gonna just play some music, but again, congratulations to all the winners, and especially congratulations to Cindy, our Impact Award winner. And thank you for joining.